Hello, everyone, and welcome to XpoNorth 2022. It's a real pleasure to welcome you all to our first session of the annual conference. Once again, I think we've got a really diverse programme with a lot of exciting and excellent speakers. So I really hope that you're going to enjoy the couple of days and find it useful and valuable. It's a great pleasure to be able to introduce our first speaker of this year's conference, Minister for Culture, Europe and International Development, and Minister with Special Responsibility for Refugees from Ukraine, Neil Gray. It feels even more appropriate for him to open the conference as he comes from a conference coming from the Highlands and Islands, as he's actually an Arcadian himself. So can I just thank you very much for joining us, Minister, and I'll hand over to you.
Good morning. Thank you very much indeed for that. Welcome, Ian. Greatly appreciated. And welcome to the 2022 XpoNorth conference. As the Minister for Culture, Europe and International Development, I really am delighted to open the conference today and to welcome you all to what looks to be an incredibly rich programme of activity over the next 2 days. I'm already seeing from the comments box people saying hi from the relative places from which they hail. Arthur from Skye has just popped up on my screen. Welcome to you all. XpoNorth continues to provide excellent opportunities and events for the creative industries all year round, with this annual conference being the pinnacle. This collaborative spirit is an essential driver of the creative economy of the Highlands and Islands. Scotland's creative businesses deliver a clear economic value. Together, they support an estimated £9 billion of activity within the wider Scottish economy and contribute around £5.5 billion to Scottish GDP. Equally important, creative businesses strengthen communities and support our well-being while showcasing to the world what Scotland's cultural sector has to offer. Our creative businesses are often characterised as small businesses, but their impact is wide and significant. They often have global markets, yet they are still firmly planted in their communities, and they bring those benefits back to their roots. It's therefore of paramount importance that we work to retain young creatives in our rural communities to ensure those benefits continue to seep back into local economies. The creative industries are often looked at as an urban industry. However, if you look at the Highlands and Islands, it's clear that rural areas greatly benefit from the sector too. As Ian's already said, I was born and brought up in Orkney, so I really recognise the value creative businesses provide to rural areas. They can be the anchor of a community. And through Highlands and Islands Enterprises XpoNorth programme, the Level Up partnership with UHI has just started its second year of activity after a successful year. The purpose is to create more effective links between industry and academia, make students more employable, and to ensure they have the skills that businesses in the Highlands and Islands need for the future. A number of the students involved in Level Up are in the audience today, and I hope that they gain much from this conference. The XpoNorth conference is also a chance to celebrate the wealth of talent we have in Scotland as a whole, and to show the world how great it is. From north to south, they show that the creative industries are thriving, from the gaming clusters in Dundee to the jewellery clusters in Orkney, to the Outer Hebrides being awarded the designation of World Craft City for Harris Tweed in 2018. As Scotland's Minister for Culture, the creative industries are an exciting part of my ministerial portfolio. The creative industries are complex. They're wide-ranging in terms of output, literature, craft, arts, fashion and music, to name just a few, and they're complex in terms of business models too. They extend from community-based activity on one end of the spectrum to global commercial activity on the other. The potential for the creative industries in Scotland is vast on all levels, and the sector is also unique. It is distinguished by the high levels of freelancers and sole traders, and we have sought to support our workers through the pandemic, recognising the challenges, but also the unique opportunity the makeup of our sector brings. That is why the Scottish Government provided a considerable amount of support for freelancers throughout the pandemic. Now, while I very much hope that we are entering a new phase of recovery, it would be naive not to acknowledge the impact the pandemic has had on the creative industries over the last couple of years. The Scottish Government has delivered £256 million of emergency funding to the culture, heritage, and major event sectors over the course of the pandemic. We did this to protect our culture, creative businesses, and people's livelihoods at a time of extreme hardship for the sector and the people of Scotland. Those times were challenging, yet we survived. In fact, many of our creative businesses did more than just survive. They thrived, and they continue to do so. That is why I aspire for the creative industries to be leading the charge as Scotland carves its own path out of the pandemic. The pandemic has also brought about opportunities for the creative industries, which creative businesses, being flexible, creative, and innovative, took on with enthusiasm. Embracing the world of digital was a part of that. And XpoNorth itself has provided support, along with partners such as Creative Scotland and our skills and enterprise agencies, to deliver the Creative Digital Initiative, backed by £1 million of Scottish Government funding to ensure creative businesses were able to capitalise on opportunities by upskilling their digital capabilities. The creative industries, as one of Scotland's growth sectors, is a real powerhouse for economic development. They contribute to our economic strength and our mental and physical well-being. They spark and foster creativity and innovation, provide good, fulfilling work, and help raise awareness and support action on climate change. And so much more. They're not add-ons, they are central to our lives, to our communities, and to Scotland's future aspirations. In fact, relating to our net zero ambitions, you'll be able to hear from Christopher Rayburn, a Scottish pioneer in sustainable fashion design, in one of today's sessions. There's also a session taking place which is all about the way in which design influences our lifestyle and well-being. A focus on design is key to the Scottish Government's creative industries policy statement, which recognises the role design thinking can play in all parts of our economy and society, including the creative industries. Scotland's National Strategy for Economic Transformation was published on the 1st of March. It sets out the actions that are needed to maximise the opportunities of the next decade to achieve our vision of a well-being economy. There is much in that strategy that should help address some of the issues that face the creative industries. As the delivery of the strategy is still being designed, I want to work with the creative industries to help ensure that its needs can be met and that opportunities can benefit creative businesses and creatives alike. I'd like to encourage all of you to read and digest the National Strategy for Economic Transformation and consider how your business can play a part in supporting Scotland to achieve the vision set out. There are also other exciting developments. The Creative Industries Leadership Group submitted its working group report on skills and resilience in the creative industries for my consideration. They now have received my ministerial response to the reports, and I'm looking forward to working with industry to take forward joint activity. I also want to mention the work being undertaken on the National Partnership for Culture. It has also brought forward its recommendations for consideration, and I've been looking at them and considering which ones should be taken forward. Work is ongoing to review the action points in the culture strategy, which was published in February 2020, and ensure that they are still relevant. Promoting Scotland's cultural and creative sectors internationally will also be central to our work to support and grow the sector. Cultural diplomacy will play a key role in maintaining our vital international relationships and in showcasing Scotland's creative sectors, particularly in the context of the UK's exit from the European Union. It has the potential to develop and maintain relationships with key partners in Europe and beyond, and to support the key sector, the sector to work and collaborate internationally, fostering vital cross-border cultural partnerships and networks. As such, we have committed to develop a cultural diplomacy strategy to ensure that cultural links with our partners in Europe and beyond are developed further. Initial work is ongoing to develop this strategy, and this year's conference promises a highly interactive online experience with opportunities to engage in networking and one-to-one sessions, as well as virtually visiting the digital trade spaces and participate in a rich programme of content. Over the next 2 days, you'll be able to participate in a varied programme of online events, which I believe will encourage you to work collaboratively across sectors to share information and opportunities which can help us all address common challenges. There are interactive sessions varying in topic and theme, from reflecting on the impact of design on our lifestyles to discussing diversity and inclusion in museums, to a deep dive into the heart of the Belladrum Tartan Heart Festival. There is really something in this programme for everybody. And I would like to thank XpoNorth for inviting me to open the conference today and for organising this inspiring event. I hope you will find the programme both interesting and stimulating, and I look forward to hearing about the discussions taking place today. I wish you all the very best for participation in an exciting conference, and I look forward to speaking with you all very soon. Thank you very much, Ian.
And so thank you to Neil Gray, the Minister, for that. And can I just say as well, enjoy XpoNorth 2022. Thank you.